Hey guys, welcome back to Pinchin Projects. My name is Belle, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this personalized candle using supplies from the Dollar Tree. But before I show you how to make it, make sure that you have already subscribed and that you click that bell. Also make sure that you give me a big thumbs up, that way you don't miss any future high-end creations on a shoestring budget. Let's get into it. To start, you're going to need this glass jar from the Dollar Tree. You're also going to need this white candle. And I'm going to be using this pumpkin candle for my scent. You can use like one of those wax cubes or essential oils, or if you already have something at the house. But I'm going to be melting down this pumpkin scented candle for my scent. So the first thing we have to do in order to create this custom candle is melt down these candles. So how we melted it down is you're gonna bring your pot to almost boil. It's just where it gets those dots at the bottom and they start to release to the top. So just turn it on high until it does that, and then I turn it to medium, and then you stick your candles in there. So I went between low and medium. It just depends. This is my first time doing this kind of method, so I was just making sure that my glass wasn't going to explode on me. But anyways, be careful, the water is hot, and we're just gonna let it completely melt down. This process takes about an hour, depends on like what temperature you have and how deep your pot is, because your pot, you really want the water to cover all the wax. That helps it melt faster, but I didn't have a deep enough pot for that. Once it is completely melted, we're going to take out our candles. I would recommend using oven mitts if yours is really hot. I just kind of grabbed it from the top lip of the jars. Now we're going to grab our wicks out of our candles. So my wick on my pumpkin candle actually broke from me trying to melt it, but the tall one worked. I would recommend on this using 2 wicks, put 2 wicks in there, but mine broke, so like one is fine, but I would recommend using 2 wicks. Once we are done with that, then we are going to take our wick and place it in the middle of our jar. So you want to make sure this touch is the bottom. You could use glue to glue it in place if you prefer. I'm just going to make it reach the bottom and then hang the top over the side, kind of like arc it on the side. And then what we're going to do is first, you can go ahead and mix your scents together if you prefer, but I'm just going to pour in the plain and then pour in the pumpkin one. This kind of created it, make it look like I was pouring milk into like a coffee drink or something. If you saw my picture, that's kind of what it looks like. So this is how I did it. If you want to recreate the same thing, I poured in the white first and then poured in the pumpkin. But if you don't want that, you want it like all one color, then I would recommend mixing the two together and then pour it in there. And so what I'm going to do is kind of like mix together the scents. And then I'm just going to make sure my wick is in the middle and then place it to dry. Once it is dry, you're going to cut your wick down to about 1/4 of an inch from the candle. So my top, I created it to look like this crumble. So while it was drying and like hardening up, I took my wooden skewer and kind of like crisscrossed it in there. So it kind of looked like it was like a crumpled texture on top. And I want to create it to make it look like it has some shavings on the top. To me, I wanted to make it to look like a dessert. So what I did was I took what was left, like there's some wax left in my white candles, so I just took my skewer and kind of like scraped it down. Kind of made it look like it was like coconut shavings. And then I just poured it on top of my candle. To make it look like this. Also scraped down what was left in my orange one, the pumpkin scented one, and then poured it in there too. And that is it. This is how it turned out. Now you can definitely leave it as is, but I wanted to create like this pumpkin label. So I cut this out of my Cricut, but you can easily use those foil transfers at the Dollar Tree for only $1. Anyways, I'm going to use my Cricut and I cut this pumpkin label out, and then I'm just going to transfer it onto the side of the glass and then scrape it down. Just like that, and you can leave it as is again, but I wanted to add some jute rope to it, or you can add some ribbon to it. So I'm going to do a bead of glue at the edge of the rim, and then I wanted to do 2 layers of that. So I got it glued down and then I cut it off and made sure the end was glued down, and that is it. This is how the candle turned out. Let me know what scent you're going to do for fall down below, and let's see how this looks. And that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video by leaving me a big thumbs up. Also, make sure that you have subscribed and that you click that bell, because you don't want to miss tomorrow's video where I show you how to make some Halloween luminaries for Halloween coming up. It's like, what, next week or 2 weeks from now? Anyways, make sure that you have subscribed and go ahead and share while you're down there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another Halloween craft. Bye!